it kind of makes sense that it worked, but also, yeah, I don't know. It's cool for a company to
Yeah.
actually deliver on a promise, which is way too rare, I feel like. And now that we've, been through the system and like seen the results, it's really exciting. And like the first time like an ad brings in a sale, I'm like, yes, it's like so
Yeah.
cool for it to actually work, and as it was fun that we were profitable fairly instantly. Before I turned on the ads, like some days we'd get even zero sales, like, or one or two. And now we're seeing, oh gosh, like $600 days pretty regularly. So, um, and some days, we'll find like really big customers, like who will spend $355 right off the bat, which is like our biggest bundle. It was fairly immediate. Like I knew, like, oh, this is different. We're pumping traffic through our website. We are on this trajectory. And like the only way that it's going to stop is if we quit, I guess. Because we had tried Facebook ads before, but we didn't know what we were doing. But it's like before, we never saw that correlation of like, we're putting in $300, we're getting out, $600, um, so being able to see it immediately happen, I think, is a very cool moment. We had figured out a way to be profitable, but we were having a lot of trouble figuring out how to grow. And we had even done a Facebook course with somebody else, interestingly from Australia, who, oh no, I think she was living in New Zealand or something, but she kind of taught you how to put up Facebook ads, but most of the time I felt like I was like teaching her things. And so I was like, this isn't working. So when the For Good Profits ad came up, I was like, oh, like it just felt kind of different to me about like it just made a lot of logical sense. And I think that that's something that my sister and I were struggling in the business is like, how do you make those decisions of like where your time is going? My company is Tiny and Snail, and we started this company 6 years ago when I was living in Kentucky and I was super remote and lonely. And my sister was moving north south with her husband, who was a golf instructor, and she started a blog and she started hand making greeting cards, and selling them on Etsy. And she was like getting carpal tunnel from it. And meanwhile, I had just finished 4 years of college for art, and I had no clue how to run a business. And so one day I said to her, I was talking on the phone, I was like, Grace, you're never gonna make money hand painting cards for Etsy. Like, I know how to digitize things. Like, let's go in this together, do it together. And that was like the best decision that I ever made. Um, we worked together for about a year and a half before I was in an accident at work. A telehandler, which is like a huge forklift, it fell on me at work one day about a year after we launched the company. And so I was paralyzed from the chest down, and Tiny and Snail just became like a life raft for me. Um, and I think the accident has 100% to do with um, the mission of Tiny and Snail, I think, to be present while you can for the people you love. And Grace, my sister, like she was in the ICU for 29 days with me, and it was sort of like a what do I call it? Like a crucible for us, like forming that bond of like sisterhood. And we were close before, but like I feel like it totally did something to us. And we now make cards that are kind of unlike maybe any other, like especially sympathy and encouragement cards. Probably because of the training too, like figuring out our niche and like owning it. I After some customer interviews, we realized like, oh, our whales are women who write inside of the cards. And I think like over the year, I've just really embraced that. And like, we're kind of one of the only stationery companies that I know of that like talk about writing so much, which shouldn't be so revolutionary, but like these women are just hungry for being inspired to write. And, I think that I don't know, writing, is kind of telepathy and words are telepathy. And so it's if me and little old South Dakota can influence the way somebody is marketing in Britain, like that's cool,
Yeah.
We were mostly doing like Instagram, just organic content and which were kind of working, but not very quickly, like not quick enough, sort of. And I think my sister and I have always felt a little bit like we love the direct to customer more than we do wholesale. And so I was really hoping that like, oh, maybe this is the answer to scaling and not feeling like we have to go the wholesale route to scale. I guess like the other business courses we've been in are sort of almost more like theoretically what you should do. But I think the for good profits method of like, tracking things and scientific experiments and like it's kind of I don't know, it allows you to like organize and distance yourself from it a little bit. Um, and also like keep track, I guess. Like the campaign compass is obviously something we needed as a business. Like all of the content is so valuable, I guess. And I think that it showed me a way that like all of my content could also be really valuable. And so I think that when you have the goal of let's make the world a better place altogether, um, it's cool to see people like actually getting work done, um, and like being passionate about like fixing this world and making it a better place. I think that's very cool that because of you and Daryl and your whole team, like all of the business owners have an opportunity to like really make an impact. And so it's just kind of cool to see like different companies doing that. I guess For Good Profits even made me like believe a little bit more in manifestation and sort of just um having an effect in the world, I guess. And like designing what you want your life to look like. Um so yeah, I mean it's really transformed my life, honestly. So yeah, I guess it's just lit a fire underneath me, but also like giving me a structure to do that within. And I think that's like really helpful for me to have that guidance of how to think through problems and, what a welcome sequence should look like, or um, like I feel like there's just so much valuable information for saving money in the course that's really helpful too. Like, yeah, ignore that. Like it's, keep focused. Yeah, I'm just really glad that we went for it and trusted that it was a real and good thing. I Yeah, we've been in other mastermind groups and it just hasn't was never as good as For Good Profits. And I am just really grateful for getting to think with some really bright individuals. And like being able to all kind of collaborate on systems so that we're all kind of more efficient. And yeah, I don't know. If you're ready for it, join. But you better be ready to work. That's true.
Yeah.